everyone, welcome back to Explore the Tarot. I'm doing another pairing today, drawing a tarot card of the day and pairing it up with Kim Kranz's Archetypes cards. So let's see what we have today. The Ace of Pentacles. This is actually probably my favourite card in the Pagan Otherworlds tarot deck. It's so intricately painted, just beautiful. Right, so we have the Ace of Pentacles. Strong energy. And let's go with whatever card this is. The Shadow. How interesting. I was literally just about to say how bright the energy of this card is, and then we got the Shadow. So I'm going to just read what Kim Kranz has to say about the Shadow. The unspeakable, the unwelcome, the denied. Although every card in the Archetypes deck has a shadow potential, this card asks us to delve into the qualities of the shadow itself. We often think that the shadow can be purified, illuminated, and made right through effort and achievement. However, it is typically the case that our lofty pursuit of ascension and perfection is the very source of shadow material itself. By rejecting parts of ourselves and the world, we begin to separate from the whole. Rather than getting to know the qualities and content of our shadow, we busy ourselves with avoiding its presence. This is denial. When this card appears, it is time to take inventory of those things you've been denying. When the mind responds with, "No, anything but that," you are touching the shadow. Find support for this deep inner work and move toward the shadow with patience and compassion. Contemplate the following scientific observation. The closer an object is to the light, the longer the shadow it casts. In the shadow of the gods are the very gods themselves. Reflect on this statement by James Hillman in A Blue Fire. What do you despise about yourself? By answering, you move toward shadow, revealing unconscious aspects of the self and the world. Wow. It's so interesting that that card came up specifically because to me the Ace of Pentacles is one of the brightest cards in the deck. You know, it has this real energy radiating off it, which, you know, whenever it appears in a reading that I'm doing for people, it always brings kind of good news and brightness and a promise of wealth and potential, a promise of better horizons and brighter horizons, and a promise of rebirth and renewal. So it has a very spring-like energy to it. So it is just so interesting that the shadow would come up for this card specifically. You know, I think often, you know, we forget that even the brightest cards have these shadow aspects to themselves, don't they? And as Kim Kranz says, the brighter the card actually, the longer the shadow it casts. And so I suppose today I'd like to sort of delve into what exactly the shadow aspects of the Ace of Pentacles would be. To me, the Ace of Pentacles is all about wealth consciousness. And it's about connecting to the physical world through gratitude and gratefulness and appreciation. And in fact, practicing gratitude is one of the most powerful ways that you can attract more wealth and abundance to you. So it's very much talking about our relationship with the material world, with the physical world, but it's also a psychological thing. It's a mindset. It's talking about how we need to frame the world through the lens of our gratefulness, through the lens of just seeing how very fortunate we are to be alive and to be having the experiences that we're having. And that is an incredibly challenging thing to do, I think. You know, there are days when you don't really feel like practicing gratitude, you don't really feel like seeing the brighter side of things, and maybe this shadow card coming into this is saying that it's okay. It's okay to not always feel endlessly grateful for the things around you. It's okay to have a sense of darkness within you and a sense of longing, and to honour that. I suppose in a way there is a kind of tension going on within the Ace of Pentacles card, because so much of it is to do with wanting to attract more wealth and more abundance to you, to bring in a new material situation into your life, whether that's a new job or getting a new house or having new possessions, or a move to a new place. Whatever it is, you're reaching out to something because you want something better. And I suppose the flip side of that is that there is a part of you that isn't totally satisfied or fulfilled by where you currently are. And actually it's a great gift to be able to gauge that within ourselves, because it helps us move forward, doesn't it? And it helps us to find those things and those people and those places that do bring up that sense of gratitude and appreciation, which essentially is just us aligning with our natural framework, with our own innate sense of what it means to me to be living meaningfully, and that's so different for each of us. So yeah, I think this combination, it's a really complicated one, and probably the one that I find most challenging to reflect upon, simply because I'm not really used to looking at the shadow aspect of this card. But I suppose in and of itself that's sort of prompting questions like, well, when I think about the brightest aspects of my life and the brightest visions of my life, I also need to honour the fact that they were born from something darker within me and something deeper within me that was wishing for more. The things that I feel most appreciation for in my life now have come to me partly due to the fact that I felt a deep desire for something that I didn't have. I felt a longing for something that I didn't have. I understood that there was something lacking in me, and I needed to work through that, and it was that shadow side of me that alchemized those parts of my life and turned them into gold. And really, I suppose the message here is your shadow is the greatest source of gold in your life. You can alchemize so much amazing stuff into your life from looking at your shadow and not shying away from it. So yeah, I mean, there's so much more to say about this card, because shadow work is just so powerful and deep and complex. And even just kind of becoming more familiar with what the shadow is and what it means to you is such a great place to start, and to start reframing it as a source of potential and gold and brightness is a really wonderful way of seeing this combination. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.